Okay, rules for rounding. You're going to be using the rules for rounding when you take care of significant digits in your answers. So here are the rules that you're going to use. First one, you have to look to the right of whatever digit needs to be your last digit. For example, if you've got 3.85764 and you want to round to 4 digits, so that means you're going to take it down to here. You look to the number to the right of the last digit you're going to keep. If that number is above 5 with all the zeros afterwards, then you're going to round up. So in this case it's a 6, that's bigger than 5, so you're going to round the 7 up 1 to 3.858. If the number is below, so let's say we wanted to round the same number to 5 digits, and then we're looking at this 4, because the last digit we want is right here at the 6. The 4 is less than 5 and the zeros afterwards, so you wind up with 3.857.6. You round down, round to the 6 instead of up to the 7. The real trick is in the next step, and that's if you wind up with a 5 at the end. By the way, if you end up with a 5 and then another digit after that, so say we looked at the same number, 3.85764, and you're trying to round to 2 digits, so this is what you want, and you're looking at this 5. Even though it's a 5, there's another number afterwards, so it's actually higher than 5. It's closer to 3.9 than it is to 3.8. So you're going to round that to 3.9. That's the basic rule. You round it to whichever number is closer. But sometimes you're going to run into a situation where you only have 5s, or a 5 and zeros afterwards. In that case, and there's a statistical reason for this, you round to the even digit. So I'm going to show you some examples, and then if you want to keep watching, I'll explain the statistics. So 10,254, we're rounding the 3 digits. So we're rounding to here, and there's a 5 afterwards, but there's a 4 after that, which means it's closer to 103, so that's the answer. 6273, actually let's look and see where our 5s are. As you can round 6273 is going to be 627, because the 3 is closer to the lower number. 8157, you're rounding upwards because the 7 is higher than 5, so 8160, so that's 10300, sorry, 6270. And then the 9834, 9834, again the 4 is lower, so we're going to get 9830. That's what we're rounding if we're only comfortable with 3 digits. These last two, 1035, and there's nothing afterwards, so it's not higher than 5, but it's also not lower than 5, so it's exactly in between 103 and 104, or 1030 and 1040. So we round that so that this becomes an even number. So it's going to be 1040. On the other hand, if it's 1045, this number here, again, we're halfway between 1040 and 1050. Again, we round to the even number, so this one is also going to round to 1040. That's going to seem a little strange to people. And I'm going to move to the next page to explain why. Whenever we get a number that ends where we're rounding a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4, we're rounding that down. Whenever we get something that's a 6, 7, 8, or a 9, we're rounding that up. If we do what you were probably taught in earlier years and round up whenever it's a 5, then we're going to wind up with a 5 here, and that means 5 times out of 9 you're rounding upwards. In statistics, that's going to change things. That's going to skew your averages up a little bit. Whereas if we always round to the even number, well, half the time we're going to round up, and half the time we're going to round down when we have a 5. So half of our 5s are going to go upwards, and half our 5s are going to go downwards, which is going to split the 5 evenly between these two values and make it more statistically valid. And that's it for rounding.